everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So a little while ago, I put out a form asking questions about things that I should make videos about, questions people had, and that sort of thing. So one of the questions was about self-care and keeping up with self-care, especially on days that you're really not feeling it. So in response to that, I am making this video, how to keep up with your self-care on days that you're not feeling it. Whether you're having a bad week, just a bad time, or you just seem to be slacking in that department, here are my tips for keeping up with hygiene, health, and yourself. So, my very first tip is to look at your schedule. Look at the things you have to do, your classes, include your work schedule, bus and driving time, include work time. So, essentially, first, look at your overall schedule and things that are definite and set in stone, or for the most part, set in stone. Also, including activities, clubs, sports, practice, and all that sort of thing. Now, the next thing you want to look at is your free time. You want to see what time slots you have available. And this is when you start scheduling in things like shower time, wake up time, cooking time, and all that sort of stuff. And then from there, you start with the basics. You find where to put when to cook. Where do you have enough time to actually cook? Where do you have enough time to get a shower in? Even if it's a quick one, where do you have time for that? Where do you have time in the morning for a proper wake up and a good morning routine? You just have to start from the basics from there, and then you move on to other things like I will be explaining in this video. My next thing is to make sure that you get enough sleep. And of course, I yawn as I say that. Sleep is incredibly important. I took a psychology class recently that sort of showed us different effects that a lack of sleep has, and let me tell you, there is a long list. Without sleep, your body can lack the proper power to function throughout the day. And sometimes it also adds on to appearance. Like, for example, sometimes you can tell when someone hasn't gotten enough sleep. They look a little groggy. We've all been there. So something that has worked for me in keeping a general sleeping schedule is using the alarms on my phone. So I have an iPhone. I don't know if other phones have this, but essentially it has this sleep schedule and sleep reminder. So in my clock app, I can set this up. I can set up when I want to wake up and a sleep reminder. So let's say late at night, I have my sleep alarm for 11 and I set a reminder for about 10:30 or something like that. And I'm in the middle of doing homework or grinding out some work. I get this alarm, I get this ding. Then I see, oh, okay, 30 minutes until 11. I should probably wrap up what I'm doing right now. I should probably wrap up my homework. I should go ahead to shower if I haven't showered yet. I should start cleaning up and wrapping up my night. And boom, I go to sleep at around 11 or at least something like that. And then from there, I start getting that schedule and I get that daily reminder of when I should really go to sleep. Even something like that, like simple alarms, like a simple reminder, can help you sort of stay on track with this sleep schedule and help you go from there. Hygiene. First thing I'd say is to make a goal to at least shower once a day or a certain number of times a week. I am one to shower every day, but because I go to the gym, I tend to walk around campus a lot. I go out, I go hang out with my friends, and I go to a lot of places. I just can't deal with it. So I'm one to shower and always before bed, so I get into my bed nice and clean. That's my preference. That's how I've always grown up. To stay on top of that, if you are struggling, another thing again is setting an alarm. Setting these little reminders day by day, seeing these visual reminders, even if you write it down on a sticky note, shower today, these are all things that help. Having a little outside reminder can sometimes take the pressure off yourself from having to remember yourself all the time to, okay, I gotta shower today. Okay, I gotta shower. Okay, I have to remember to shower. Instead, you could just put an outside alarm or an outside reminder of some sort, and that takes the pressure off of you of having to keep that in mind. Now, as for the other parts of hygiene, something that I heard in a video once was coupling tasks together. So essentially, once you get one task in, for example, showering, if you couple that with brushing your teeth immediately after, like as soon as you hop out of the shower and you hop into your towel, or if you change it while you're in the bathroom, as soon as you change and get into your pajamas or whatever, you go straight to brushing your teeth. You couple those two tasks together, and that becomes a routine and that becomes a habit. Like little by little, you start building up the coupling tasks. So once you shower and brush your teeth, okay, mouthwash. Once you shower, brush your teeth with mouthwash, flossing. And like you start building up little steps, baby steps like that. And little by little, later it will become a full habit and you build a routine. Now, for the tougher one, which even a lot of organized people and people who tend to stay on top of things can struggle with sometimes, is cooking. I know myself, even though I'm a gym rat, you'd think that I'd be on top of my cooking, my food, my meal prep, and all of that. But even I sometimes tend to struggle because we have a lot of things going on in our lives and we can sometimes get overwhelmed. So, one of the biggest things that has come to help me in this past year since I moved into my apartment and I've had to cook for myself is meal prepping. Meal prepping has been one of my biggest helpers in making sure that I have food available, to make sure that I eat. Usually when I would meal prep, it would be Sunday or Monday. Sunday before classes even started because it was easier, or Monday because I had enough time to get it done. But essentially, it would be at the beginning of every week. Either if I'm making lunch or if I'm making dinner, I would make this meal in big batches so then I could separate it into containers and spread it out throughout the week. Having that big amount of food has you ready to just take it and go. Take it and bring it to school, take it and bring it for your lunch, for your dinner, whatever. If you have work, to bring it to work as well. Having that food ready and taking that time to prepare ahead is much better so that you don't have to worry about cooking later on. And although you might say, oh, but that just seems like a lot more work, honestly, it isn't really because you're already cooking. You might as well just add a little bit more food and you're still going through the same process only once. So for breakfast, I know some people tend to skip breakfast, but I think it is important to get at least a little bit of energy every day in the morning by food. So for breakfast, I tend to keep things pretty simple. I'm more of an on the go, like quick type of food person. So I'd usually have something like waffles or those mini pancakes. I don't know, I find those so cute and they're very simple to make. And then sausage patties or something like that. While I'm getting ready in the morning, I would just have the waffle cooking up, the sausage patties cooking up, or the mini pancakes warmed up and things like that. So I have it like slowly cooking while I'm off to get ready. By the time I'm done, my food will be ready and then I'm good to go. And in relation to that, I generally tend to keep my whole food thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as simple as possible, especially for times that I know I'm going to be busy or that I'm just slacking. For example, one of my go to meal preps is pasta and chicken or pasta steak. Pasta, very simple to make. You just got to boil the water, and I usually used sauces from a jar or a can, whatever, things like that. And for the meat portion, I would make my own seasoning, but honestly, you could just use a pre made seasoning. Just season that up, let it sizzle in the pan as the pasta is cooking, and boom, done. Simple as that. You chop that up, put it all together in a container for meal prep, and easy. The goal here is to try to keep things as simple as possible. And when it comes to food, it is definitely the way to go. So now in this section of beauty, I mean things like your hair, like in the morning when you get up, makeup if you do that. So for hair, because I have curly hair and or curly wavy, it tends to get very frizzy. It takes a lot to maintain sometimes. So when I'm just trying to get up and go, I have a go-to hairstyle, which tends to be like this, but I usually put this in a bun. That is my go-to hairstyle. I just spray a little water, put some hair gel, slick it back, and done. Something simple like that. I have a go-to hairstyle. It doesn't usually take me too long. It keeps my frizz down and it pretty much lasts the whole day. But having a go-to hairstyle, something simple and easy that you know you can do. And same thing for makeup. Just like I said in food, I tried my best to keep things simple. Some girls like to do a full face of makeup, some girls like to do a little simpler. I tend to keep it simple so I could just do something small and go on my way. I tend to just do foundation powder, mascara, eyebrows, and like a lip balm. But more than that, I don't tend to do unless I'm trying to look like a little nicer in my day. Then for nails, everybody should have clean nails. You know, you gotta clip your nails, clean that dirt under your nails. You don't have to have all polished up, all buffed up, and having clean nails is also something to keep in mind for your cleanliness and hygienics. So, even like I said before, coupling that when you're in the shower or just simply noticing that your nails are getting a little long, like write that down on a quick note if you are struggling with like keeping up with things so that you can remember to do it later. And then my other tricks is one of my first tricks, and this I especially did when I wanted to work out. I wanted to start getting into fitness and I started exercising. I would go on runs. I had a physical calendar, and I would check off the days that I went on a run. This helped me a lot because it became a visual motivator and a visual reminder. And having that in front of you, seeing that every day, constantly reminds you that, oh, okay, I have this goal in mind. I want to keep up with this goal. Or I have these tasks that I want to keep up with. In this case, your self care, and you'll remember to keep up with that. And then there are also probably some apps that you could use for these things. There's always some sort of ads that you see that are like, oh, bonus points for getting this done today. So even things like that, rewarding yourself with the things in the apps and those sorts, that can help too. Or another thing is, and if you need something different, you need something right in front of you, you could also use a checklist, or those like sticky note pads, but they're just rip off papers, so you can write your things that you want to do that day, things that you want to accomplish, and see that and then mark it off as you get them done. And last but not least, if you are struggling to keep up with these things on the daily and you're struggling to keep up with yourself, don't worry, because it happens to everyone at some point or another. Everyone has different things going on, different pressures, and different activities that are happening every day. So it can be hard to maintain 100% self care every single day. But my biggest advice here is to do your best to keep things simple. The simpler you keep them, the easier it is to get through some things, and especially things like self care. Just keep it simple to a basic shower, keep it simple to basic meals, but of course, try your best to get all your nutrients in, to keep a basic routine, and that sort of thing. Once you get that basic done, you can start adding more things and making your routines more complex. So I hope that helps whoever had asked for that. So that's all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video and want me to do more videos like this. And Morgan out.